technology and with kids for more than a decade now. Okay, and that's putting it mildly. I'm a certified Microsoft trainer for corporates as well as for colleges. Yes.
Please respect the speaker and the audience. People who want to come here, please go away or we will not have the speaker. I think this is very rude. Others speaking. Can we have one voice speaking please and others listening? Some respect. Let's behave like adults.
Okay, that's her request for you. I'm used to kids talking in sessions, so it's okay. Yeah, I know. But are we really so different from our kids? I'm not sure. I would say no. Okay, and that's what I'm trying to say. Technology is an equalizer here, and it is to be used in that sense. It is all about inclusion, and if you want inclusion, then technology is the way to go, and that's kind of what I'm trying to say. So the thing is that technology, you can use it to unleash your child's potential as a topic given, but I would say you can use it to unleash your potential also. Okay, it's all about using it in the right amount, using the right technology for the right thing, and coming up with solutions. One of the most important things that you need to focus on with regard to technology is there's no such thing as a right technology or a wrong technology. Okay, if it works, it's right. Okay, and every child is unique, every person is unique. So it's not about branding or it's not about anything. You need to go through. Let me not jump ahead of the slides. Used to it. So you all know what is technology, right? Technology can be simply said to be taking your science. Oh, thanks. So you can just take your science and then apply it and call it technology. Would that be okay as an explanation? Maybe, maybe not, right? But it's okay. I'm sure that everybody may not be able to come up with a definition for technology, but all of you know what is technology. You've been using it all your lives. Anything which makes your life simple. Okay? And there are tons of things that you use to make your life simple. All of you have friends, I'm sure. But how many of you will only speak to your friend if you go in for a direct personal visit? Like, if you want to speak to your friend, you should go and physically visit your friend. Is it like that? No, right? So you have gone to the next level and said, okay, I can still call someone and speak to them. Whether it's a video conference call on Skype or whether it's a regular cellular communication or a landline-based communication, you are okay with that? So you are ready to adapt technology when it suits you. Okay? You are no longer looking in terms of using charcoal or any other fuel for your cooking. You look in terms of a minimum of a gas or an induction stove. Right? So technology is okay there. So why is it when it comes to most of your thinking with regard to your kids, you tend to think that technology is like poison? Okay? In some situations, not all of you, definitely not all of you. But some instances I've seen where the word technology is looked up as something which is oh, I'm not going to do this. Okay, it has got radiation, it's got this, it's got that. Please, small reminder: the only place where you don't have radiation is deep underground, and even then, there is a possibility that there might be thermal radiations anyway from the Earth itself, Earth's core. Okay, the way things have changed, it's gone beyond us. We can't control those radiations per se. Okay, but what we can do is we can always work with what we have got. Okay, you don't think of a world without fire now. You don't think of a world without wheel now. So technology is that simple. It's as simple as that. Use whatever technology suits your requirements to get your child forward from wherever they are, which you have to assess, find out where they are right now, and then move towards where you want them to be. And while you do that, you have to do it with an open mind. Not just to the technology, but to the session also. Where you work with the child, even in that session, you need to be completely open-minded. You shouldn't be thinking like, okay, I'm spending so much time with this kid, so I need this result, output. Okay? Kid is not going to do a stage show for you. They are not actors, they are not performers in that sense of the word. Okay? They perform, but they perform for themselves. So the thing is, have an open-ended mind and just do it and you will be impressed.
Sir,
Yeah.
see, you said about radiation, right? So one of the suggestions and we get feedback is that you have to switch off Wi-Fi, everything at home when required and go wired rather than wireless.
Correct.
And that we have been implementing for a long
Yes.
time. Of course,
But there are restrictions to that also. Like even in Wi-Fi, you can restrict your Wi-Fi. But nowadays most people live in apartments.
correct.
And Wi-Fi from your neighbors,
From neighbors we can't do it.
okay. And it's the same 2.5 megahertz spectrum. Okay. What we call the dirty frequency because everybody uses it all the time and it actually shares its self with Bluetooth also.
Does it really matter? Doesn't it matter?
I'm saying like now all you can do is take enough vitamins. Okay. No, that's the way it is. See, if you think that there is radiation, what does radiation do? It's going to give you what you think it is going to be cancer causing. If you think it is going to be cancer causing, how do you reduce it? So going for a diet which includes enough vitamins, okay, that will go clean it up. Okay, it will go bind with that and it will remove the excess oxygen. Okay, so that's about it. There also technology helps. Okay, it tells you what you can do, but there is no running away. Like you can live, you can talk, you can work with, you can communicate with the spiritual world. All that is extremely fine and it's great, and I do support all that. But the thing is, in the temporal world, you still have to do some things based on what we have on this planet. Okay, you still have to do some things because, I mean, at the end of the day, you go to a shop, you can't say, you give me these items, okay, it's good for your spirit. You still have to pay them. Okay, so you need to find the right balance. I'm not saying that, yeah.
I think technology is great as long as we are the masters and it is the slave. But
Yes, I never asked you to be a slave to technology.
when technology becomes the master and we become the slave.
That is completely in your hands.
Yeah.
Okay, that is completely in your hands. Even today, I have days when I just shut off myself from all communications. Okay, I am always online. Okay, I'm always online, and I cut off myself from all technology whenever I feel like it, only to prove to myself that I am still the master.
Exactly.
Okay, so I'm not asking you to become a blind slave of technology. I'm saying you be in control, you be in charge. Okay, but do not blindly say that I will not use it. If you say that, then please cut off from all forms of technology.
So one tip that we have is you have periodic times. I will check mails once before lunch, once before dinner, right? And
Some
also
people can do that, yes.
WhatsApp and all other things twice a day or thrice a day.
Yes, that might work. But for our kids, definitely we have to put it as a schedule. Okay, that is definitely there. But in business, when you work, then when your business also happens on WhatsApp, you can't really do that. Okay, so it's all flexible.
I'm sorry, I have a question here. What about the kids that our children are?
I'm coming to that, please. So things you know what is technology, you know what we use it for, we use it for almost everything, including me speaking here to you. It's all using technology. And can we really avoid it? I don't think so. Okay? Absolutely not. So, please. So technology and special ed, I don't think they are different. Okay? The job of technology is to ensure that we do things better. Okay? To enhance our lives. Special ed is the same thing. Only thing is we apply it to so-called kids with special needs. Okay? It doesn't matter what you call them as long as the requirement is the same. They are still users. I need to get my users to use my computers, my electronic devices properly. I need to come up with an interface which they can work with. It's as simple as that. Okay? So it doesn't matter to me on the technology front whether they are special or not. I have to ensure that all my customers will use my products. And even if you call that consumer oriented, commercial stuff and all that, so what? It still benefits you because it makes sure that your kids will have an interface that they are comfortable with to use and express themselves. So what is wrong in taking advantage of that? We all don't write on blackboards with chalk, right? So it's okay. It's okay. The presentation part, the using our notepad to communicate. In fact, when I started my career in IT, around that time, one of the first kids that I used to work with was an autistic kid, and we were doing communication sessions. Okay, I was just told, I was not into special education, I was not a special educator, I was just told one requirement: get this kid to communicate. That's all, using technology. Whatever you do is up to you. Okay, so it was like, hands tied in the middle of the forest kind of thing. I had absolutely no idea what is autism. Okay, and to some extent we still feel we are learning every day. So jury's still out on that. But at the same time, what happened when I started working with this kid, a small kid, the first thing I did was I created I understood my objective was to facilitate communication. Person can type, knows all the alphabets, can make words. These are prerequisites which were already there. Only thing which was not there, expressions, ability to communicate emotions. These were not there. So what I did was created a Hotmail ID, okay, long time back, so MSN chat. So she used to log in from a computer here, I used to log in from a computer here. And then what we were doing, we were chatting, okay. So establishing ground rules of communication, which is basically like, I will ask her a question for which I know the answer. Like I will ask her, what dress are you wearing? Things like that, where I establish that the answers I am getting are relevant. So I know that if she answers this is the color, I can look at her and I know that the color is right or wrong. So based on that I can take it forward. It's always, it cannot be a pre-planned session. I can't go in with a questionnaire and say that this is how it will happen. The kids control the session. The kids will control the session. The kids are the masters of the session. So what happens is, you have to build your session as it goes. So go there with an opinion. Then the thing is, we used emoticons. Now we have so many choices. Okay, we have WhatsApp, we have Hike, which has got so many stickers. Okay, so even formal greetings and all you can take from any language. English to almost all the 18 official Indian languages are kind of supported there. So you can take these kids through that and they can use any sticker to communicate. So things like that happen. So,
don't you think kids are so smart when it comes to technology? So
they are smarter than me, yes.
Yeah, suppose you have given them for mail exchange, they will not switch over to games.
One second, I'm coming to that. But games is really big topic. My favorite topic. I'm coming here. Okay.
Game for everybody.
I know that. Yeah, you wait for the best things in life. Tolerance. Okay. Yeah, you have to build tolerance, right? So one thing is technology helps you with all those building tolerance things. Okay, it really helps you with that. Okay, it will help you improve your sitting tolerance or whatever you are looking for. Okay, so you can customize it to any level. And yes, now you have to be tolerant. Okay, and so if you look at it, technology helps in two ways. First and foremost, it does assistive technology. Okay, assistive technology is all your on-screen keyboards, the narrator that is built into your, I'm assuming that most of you use Windows. Okay, so it's pre-built. Then in Linux, Unix also you have the same tools, but you need to select which one and then use it. So you can use all these tools, and what does it do? It will read the content on the screen for you. Narrator does that. You can also have speech recognition in case required. And you can also have other tools like the on-screen keyboard is the most popular. How many of you are using smartphones?
Apple.
Okay, whatever, no brands. Okay, heterogeneous environment, inclusion. Okay, whatever you are using it, Android, Windows, Apple, Mac, I don't care what OS it is, Symbian, BlackBerry, everything included. But you have done texting. You know for sure there is a prediction. Okay. You know that it will predict the words. Now imagine that being available on the PC, on the tablet. That is your online keyboard. Nowadays, most of your online keyboard software gives you that predictive text, which means that it becomes easier for people to communicate. Okay? I think of myself as a partial or most probably a complete dyslexic. Okay? So it really helps me. My copy on paper is naturally encrypted. Okay? My handwriting is completely natural encryption based. Okay? I'll have to take classes for you people to decrypt my handwriting. Whereas with regard to on-screen presences, my copy is good. Okay? It's absolutely good because I use the same tools that I teach. Okay? It's the same strategies. But having said that, please remember, autistic kids are not equal to dyslexic kids. Okay? Methodologies keep changing. Methodologies have to be customized. They are completely unique for each child. As Maitri ma'am regularly says, if you know one autistic kid, you know one autistic kid. You don't know all of them. So that's how it goes. That's 100% true and that's how it is. So we have software, with regard to assistive technologies, I'm not going to cover much because usually our kids don't need assistive technologies in a big way. But whether you are a Stephen Hawkins who can move only a single muscle, we can still support you. That much assistance is possible. And by the way, the software which controls that particular chair is now free for use throughout the world. It's been open sourced. And that software actually comes from Indian team. Okay. But the next part. So technology in assistive mode, what it can do all this. It can help people understand their environment. It can help them to express communication skills. You know that if someone says, types hi, you have to respond appropriately. Hi, hello, whatever. If they say good morning, good afternoon, whatever, you have to do that. You can teach all that easily through chat also. And now that if you are a big fan of, say, WhatsApp, for example, web.whatsapp.com is there, so you can use that in a browser. You can get if you feel that the keys on the computer or on your phone is too small, you can always use it on the browser screen. And you can still go for online keyboard. So all that is available. But 90% of the time, we might need it, the kids don't. Okay, the kids are very proficient with regard to technology by default. That's their default setting. Okay, you give them technology, they will take it up, they will use it, and they can run circles around all of us, me included. Okay, that's how it is. So there, what is our major role? Our major role is to know what we are doing, getting into, and to structure, in the sense, mainly it has to do with what people here used to be doing, times out, that reminder. Okay, because once we go into technology, we have this problem where we get into this relativity principles which apply. That is basically it's always 5 more minutes more. Okay, so another 5 minutes, and the 5 minutes never gets over. It can take 5 days also, it will never get over. So the first 5 minutes, you have to say, if it's 5 minutes, then you have to have a stopwatch, ticking off the seconds. Otherwise, even for adults, even for so-called neurotypicals, okay, it's actually difficult, yes. Okay, but you need to be in control, you need to know what is what. Otherwise, that's always an issue. So self-help skills, academic skills, and also things like scheduling. You can use calendar apps. There are applications where you can schedule with pictures also. All these are available, almost all platforms, whether it's the Google Play Store, whether it's the Windows Store, whether it's any of those stores, all of them have applications which you can search. You can search using teaching as a keyword. You can use autism as a keyword. You will find a lot of applications, and some of them, at least in the Windows part of the world, is universal apps. So you can use it on the computer, you can use the same app on your device, whatever device it is. So these things also help. And does someone ask something? So academic skills, again, something we definitely have to look at. We have a wide range of resources available online. Most of our kids learn a lot from visual, and we have the whole internet full of pictures. So there is a downside to them. What is that? What is the downside to allowing your kids to go online? Addiction? You are only worried about addiction. Seriously? That's the least of your worries. Seriously.
Compromises online and content that may not be relevant.
Content which is irrelevant, it's kind of quasi, okay? Because maybe they might learn something new. Okay, like half the time we do a Google search or a...
When I say inappropriate.
When you come to inappropriate content, there you definitely have to step in. And how do you step in? We have tools for that also. We have parental control. Okay, use almost, you can easily get your hands on free parental control devices. Most of the operating systems have it built in now. So all you have to do is use it, and you can filter all the inappropriate stuff. Okay, and there are a lot of ways in which you can filter it. Yes.
How you will help your students with technology for academic skills, just from teachers' perspective?
Okay.
You as a teacher, how you will help?
We have websites, we have apps where you can teach them anything from alphabets to calculus. So, see, forget all the grades that they are designed for. Okay? If your kid can work with that app and learn that from that app, it's good. Finished. Okay? So, whichever subject they are good at, they can go up to a PhD level, it's fine. Okay? It's good for you only. Okay? And anything where they want to take more time, it's fine there also. Okay? So, learning at our own pace.
You as a teacher, how you will allow?
I will go with the child's pace. I won't go with my pace. I will not come in with a schedule and say that this is what I want to teach. I will keep a list of what I would prefer to teach. Okay? But I will try to map those with the child's interest. Okay? It has to map. Just imagine if I come here and talk to you about things that you don't like. Okay? What will happen? 2 minutes max. After that you will shut down. Okay? You will be thinking more about the snacks that you are going to eat than about what I am going to say. My voice will become a monologue. Even if I take it up and down, it will become that to you. Why? Because you are no longer interested in the topic. Okay? And if you who think that you are neurotypical feel like that, then won't the kids be justified in thinking the same way? Right? So it's, I would say teaching is a huge responsibility because we need to keep the audience away. Okay? We need to keep the audience away. We need to ensure that the brain is ready to listen to us and take whatever input we are giving and work on it and give us a feedback also. It can be positive or negative feedback, that's different. But first I need to know that what I'm saying is going in somewhere and there is some kind of output being generated. I don't care what kind of output it is. But if output comes, then there is some input for sure.
What tool you will use as a teacher?
That's completely customized. It's customized to every requirement. There is no single tool. There is no magic wand. Okay? You need to decide. We'll be going through that again. Next week. Yeah.
We are talking about the downside of going to online. You didn't give the answer.
No, I gave the answer. I said that you can use parental safety tools to filter out content. I did give that. Okay? On a smartphone. Okay. Now there is a small thing. That is, most operating systems are not built for that. But there are some. Now the problem is, I don't want anybody telling me that I'm talking about Microsoft now. But the thing is, in Microsoft phones, we do have a restriction. And I think in Google Play Store also they have brought it now. Kids Corner or some equivalent word will be used. Kids Corner or something like that.
Actually, more than parental controls, if you actually go to the application, go to YouTube or Google,
Yeah.
you have an restricted mode All that you have to
Yes, but a person going into YouTube can click on that restricted mode and take it off. So that doesn't work.
Children, I don't know. I know.
No, I'm saying that with regard to technology and with regard to everybody, not just children, adults also included, expect the unexpected. Okay, if you think they will not do this, be sure that they will try that first.
But I didn't know about this.
But even restricted mode.
Yeah, there is a restricted mode even in your search strings. All your search engines, you can, whatever is your favorite search engine, you have a restricted mode. But the thing is, it's just a click to turn it off or turn it on.
But in Apple, most of the apps are parent control. You have to press your two fingers, then only you can change, edit anything.
Yes, but I'm also trying to say that most of our kids might set the parental control on you. Because they are more fluent about all this. So you need to, before you hand over the device, you need to understand the device first. And that itself requires a lot of learning on the parents' part, on the caregiver's part.
Sangeeta, just an aside, see, they did a survey, research, and what they found out was most common password 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If you go to any company, 80% of the people will be company name at the rate of 1, 2, 3. That will be the password. So you can
You have to put your fingers and then there's a little complicated. Many apps have that.
yeah,
No, but these children can even decrypt that very easily. I have myself done that. Even
See, I have seen 6-year-olds, okay, Nandini can even validate this. It happened to her phone also. Like, take a smartphone, do something to it, give it back to you in a totally different language, okay? And then you have to request that person, again they will take it, do something to it, give it back to you in English with a big smile, okay? So, when they are at that level, where language doesn't matter, okay? They are able to use the interface, whatever be the language. It is we who are restricted, okay? We who need the translation at that time. So in that case, what do? Okay? So you need to be totally aware that, see, that is why I am saying you should not remove technology blindly away from these kids. Because that is something they excel in, okay? It's like, if I can write, I will write. If I can't write, then give me voice recognition, no? Don't keep going around telling me that I can't write. Okay? So if I can speak, fine. If I can't speak, don't tell me that I can't use any other way. You can't tell me that I shouldn't use a whiteboard and a marker to write and communicate to you. Then you are denying me opportunities. I am saying that is not what we are supposed to do. But you can time it. You can say, you want, for example, your kid is not eating your vegetables that you sow, for example. Tell the kid very clearly, I am planning to give you a session of tech-oriented something that you like, okay, maybe even a game, for example, but only if this is done. I need this to be done and you better be very firm with it, okay. And if you give in, then there's no, even if you give in once, finish.
they leave the vegetables as fast as they could, and they will get on with the games.
Better than not eating them at all, I am saying. So when you make a condition, you be literal. You tell them, I need to see you chew and eat those vegetables. Why can't you say that? It's only one extra word. Okay? You're just adding a descriptor there. So you be precise in your instructions. And of course, remember, like all of us, they will exploit any loopholes that you give them. Okay? That is normal. We do it all the time. Okay? We do it all the time with all other people. We just don't realize we are doing it all the time. Till someone points it out to us. So why can't they do it? They will do it. And remember, I even have a slide that says that. But anyway, let's get on with this. You need to know what are the current skills. Okay. Obviously, you cannot ask a person who is at alphabet level to directly go to words. You need to really check whether they know the alphabets. Then go on. Okay, you might be surprised, they might know words, but you need to, first time, you need to find out where they are. Once you know where they are, maybe you can even document it, write it down somewhere that this is the level at which we work today. I was expecting them to know alphabets, they already know words. Okay, I was thinking about number concepts 1 to 10, they already know 1 to 100.
But
Document it somewhere.
some
Then,
kids will never point to the correct alphabet, but they know words, sentences, they can write.
that is where we come into the gaming stuff. Because as a game, yes, they will point it. Okay, it's more about the reward system. Okay, a game is nothing but think of games as nothing but applications where there is an instant reward mechanism. Okay, you do things right, you get a bonus point. You get those rewards. You get that nice music coming in. Okay, you get something. Maybe even it will put you on a pedestal and say that you're at number 1, number 2, number 3, whatever. Okay, it's not about the numbers. What is important is that the kid feels that they have achieved something. That is the more important criteria. It's not about actual. There are some games you should tolerate a percentage of mistakes. Okay, they do tolerate a percentage of mistakes, and it's okay because the whole idea of the game is to promote interactive usage in the first place, and through that teach you stuff. I was talking to him during the breaks, and I was telling him that my introduction to Egyptian mythology was actually from a game called Age of Mythology, Ensemble Studios. Okay, I used to play that game. It's a strategy game. I used to play that, and then that is how I came to know that there is an Egyptian mythology in the first place. Okay, so games can expand your world. How many of you play games here? Okay, how many of you play games on the computer or any other electronic devices? On mobile?
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay, Candy Crush?
Yes. Angry Birds.
Angry Birds, okay. Then if you go into farming apps and all, it will be a huge list usually. And that happens, right? So why do you play those games?
Some games are very good for brain. You have to
It gives some kind of
use it or lose it kind of situation, because you have to stimulate your brain for that.
Okay, it stimulates your brain. Yes, definitely. In fact, it has been conclusively proved that it stimulates your brain. Okay, decent amount of gaming, which depends on case by case basis, is definitely good for the person. It's not bad. Okay, and only thing is you need to look at stuff like, okay, I'm a gamer. Okay, so I can understand that culture where there's a new title released from our favorite gaming studio. What we do is we go buy the stuff, we install it, and then 18 hours of gaming. Okay, anyone who sees Big Bang Theory? Okay, yeah, Sheldon Cooper. I relate to him a lot because that's the kind of things we do. Okay, we play games like that. We are addicted to games like that. Yes. But we also know where to draw the line. Okay, there I think it's Thursday night, right? Big Bang Theory. Where Thursday night is his game time, right? On the serial, something like that. Okay, so you will have a very scheduled structure. Okay, if you have not seen Big Bang Theory, I would advise go see it. Okay, and see it with an open mind. Seriously. Okay, the first season may be a little bit strange for Indians, but after that it will get going. Okay, so you might have a little bit of cultural shock in the first season maybe, but after that you will get through it. Okay, and you will start liking it a lot because that's how it is. Okay, so you want to define technology, you should look at all these things also, and always ensure that you know what content you want to teach, because our kids are masters at manipulation. Okay, they are really good at manipulating stuff. You want to work with words, they like pictures, they will try to go to pictures. Okay, I said be flexible, but I didn't say that you should completely remove the goalpost. Okay, if you want to do with words, then if they like pictures a lot, then pictures should become your reward. I'll give you 5 minutes of whatever picture work you want to do, painting or whatever, but give me like half an hour of word. Okay, you have to answer questions or stuff like that, or study this and give me your feedback or something like that. Assignments first, and assignments can have rewards, which are favorite activities, but time bound. If you give unlimited time, then that becomes a seed for obsession. So don't go that way. So it should definitely be time bound. The control should be with you at all times. It should never be on the other side. but our kids will definitely keep trying to snatch that cup. So you need to be aware of it all the time. And when you work with a kid, nothing else matters. Okay? So your mind should be kind of blank. I don't know how many of you have been in marketing and sales. I've had the opportunity to be in marketing and sales in the beginning. You know, we have this mindset where we go to a customer, okay, we do direct marketing. So we go to a customer's place, and then the customer doesn't like us, door shut, maybe even door-to-door marketing, okay. They shut the door on us, what do? Step back, okay, short-term memory, erased, okay, and then go to the next customer and start the sales pitch from start, okay. So that's how you do your sessions with your kids, okay. You do not carry stuff from one session to another session, okay. So you had one kid who didn't respond properly, who did something unique or was totally bad in your session, you don't carry it to your next session. No baggage, okay. This is separate session, that is separate session. If you can do it that way, do it. Otherwise, take a break. Go tell the kid, you know what, I'll give you extra timing tomorrow or something. That's better than, you know, carrying baggage from one place to another and dumping it somewhere else. Okay? So, look at that. And so once you've got this, then you can go to the next place. So, the question I asked you all before that, how many of you like to play games? Physical games also, you have seen that you like it a lot. It's definitely an activity that you all like. So if I teach through games, what happens? It's no longer teaching, right? It's no longer a lesson. Okay? It's fun. And everybody likes fun. It doesn't matter what type of person it is. Okay? Special needs or no special needs, fun is fun. Okay? As long as you have the session as a fun-filled environment, it's going to happen. So here you can look at many options. There are tons of options out there. It depends on essentially, as I said, what you want to do, what is your target, from where you want to go to where. That you have to be very clear on. And the second thing is, it also, in a country like India, it's also dependent on your budgets. Okay? Because there are many solutions which are high-end solutions. Okay? They also work a lot. Like for example, if you're having problems getting your kid to do physical exercises, you can go for the Nintendo Wii, but Nintendo Wii has got one small issue. You have a controller which has to be held by the child in their hand. Okay? Most of our kids may not like to do that. Then you have the Xbox One, which has been shown to be quite successful. But the thing is, the body is a controller. So,
it's very boring for autistic kids.
Really?
Very slow.
Which is slow?
Xbox games, sports and all.
Change the game. Change the game actually.
Body movement you have to do.
Yeah.
It's very boring for this.
I think you need a
Kinetic.
technical evaluation of your Xbox. RAM might be too low.
Kinetic.
Yeah, I know. But it might be RAM based issues. We'll get to that later offline.
Games are boring, I'm saying. For autistic, who are very little.
No, there are tons of games. You need to do a bit of R&D to find the right game. And there are some games which you should think 10 times before you install. Like for example, coordination and all that. Yeah, dance is a great way to get people to coordinate. There are applications for dancing on the Xbox, but you need to be very careful. If your kid has a tendency for seizures, then those bright lights, those dazzling lights may not be so good. So you need to, you really need to understand what you're doing before you start the process. That is vital. So this so-called video games, again, just a classification. Did you learn anything from games? I'm sure even the most basic games, the ones you think are totally dumb, will teach you something. Right? There will be some counter, high score. You will learn at least maximum, this is one value, that is another value, that value is bigger than this. So there is no dumb game. Okay, you will always learn something positive, and what you learn depends on the kind of games you want to play, and that depends on a combination of factors: age group, current level, skill sets, current skill sets, and what you want to develop and coordinate. How many of you have played Minesweeper?
Boring.
Okay, Solitaire. Those games were all designed to make you comfortable with using a mouse. Really, that was the purpose. So you did become comfortable using the mouse when you played all those games?
But it is there in the smartphone.
That is now.
Those days, it is more of sitting.
That was the origin. And then, yeah, I mean, once you like a game, you need it everywhere.
Reduce the boredom
Right.
in office. When we were working, reduce the boredom in the office. We played these games.
Oh, I was thinking in the middle of that you will do some office work.
We were all very generous.
No, because I am also into infrastructure management and I know what most users do. And most users in the office, it's predominantly the gaming part, in the middle of which, okay, let me do some work. Okay, unless you are in Germany or somewhere. Okay, German culture is so different. Okay, and so you see, we learn cultures also from the technology. I have never been to Germany. Okay, but we learn cultures. We learn to understand other people. Okay, you have to select whether it's US English or Indian English, right? For a game, from right there it starts. It's a continuous process of learning, and yeah, this I've already covered. Okay, benefits of video games. There really are some benefits. Okay, first and foremost, it improves flexible thinking because each level can have a different set of rules, and the kids learn those different set of rules. And all PowerPoint presentations will be available on the Commando site. Okay, so you can learn variations in rules because every different game that we play has got different rules, and each game has got different levels. Each level has got different rules. So you get that, and you have a lot of eye-hand coordination happening. Okay, you have to have that, right? Any game, even your Minesweeper, which might appear to be such a boring game, but actually is not. I love Minesweeper. But even that, you will find that, and there is a new version of Minesweeper, okay, where there is a character and you can make a character walk and try it out. Okay, see, gaming is like that. It's addictive. Okay, you can't get it out of the system, but you need to regulate it.
Every time we go into fight, there's a bomb, so we don't know what happens after that. The game will
And that's your job is to basically figure out where the bombs are, mark them, and remove the place. So if you bomb, then basically you have not you have lost the game actually. So one tip I'll give you is if you're playing Minesweeper, try to open the corners first. Okay, there's a strong possibility that corners you might escape. Exact corner. Okay, so tips, gaming tip in the middle of the session. It happens. Okay, that's how it is. So it's completely okay to make mistakes. That is also something we learn from games. Okay, nobody can get a perfect score on a game on day one. It doesn't happen. Practice makes perfect. That also you learn from games. Okay, and social skills. Nowadays, most of these games start with single user, then they go with multiple users. I've got kids come and tell me how to set up a server, a game server. They talk to me about IP address, they talk to me about networking, they talk to me about cables, they talk to me about all this they will tell me, and these are young kids, okay, school going kids. And they tell me, after all this, before you leave, please tell our parents, no, this system is very old. Ask them to upgrade everything. Okay?
Are they special?
Special, non-special, it doesn't make a difference. I'm just coming to that. Okay? The request comes over time. Okay? The only thing is normal, as you call it, neurotypical basically. It happens maybe today, Okay, for the others it might take about 10 days more, but it does come in from there also. Because when you play games, you really understand how slow your system is. You can make any system slow. Okay, you buy a brand new system, I can prove it to you that it is absolutely slow. All I have to do is download the latest game, install it, and I can show it to you in seconds that it's absolutely slow. That's what keeps us all working, right? I mean, if there's no new technology, why do we, the people who manage infrastructure, work? Right? Our bread and butter comes from constant upgradation. Okay? But with regard to kids, yes, they will tell you that. And they will learn networking concepts. They will learn how to use a computer properly. And they can be very possessive about those computers too. They can tell you do's and don'ts. They can offer help to you. After time, what happens is parents come to know that the kid knows computers only because they do something, and the kid gets so irritated at one point, they break in and come and say that this is not how you do it. And that is when the parents realize that the kid does know computing. Okay? On the tablet, on the PC, it doesn't matter. Form factors do not matter nowadays. Okay? Whatever is the form factor, you will find this happening, whether it's on your cell phone also. See, it's like think of it this way. Supposing I'm doing something wrong, and I'm getting it wrong every single time, and all of you are experts on that. How long can you restrain yourself from telling me the right way to do it?
Define
Right?
the special kids. This defines the special kids. They are
No, there also I'm saying. Okay, the special kid is an expert here.
Yeah.
Okay, and I'm here, so-called expert, and I'm not able to figure this out, and I keep making a mistake of it. After some time, what happens is it brings them back to earth. It brings them to such an irritated state. They have to break everything, establish communication with me, and tell me, no, this is not how you do it this way.
That happens often because they say, how do I explain this to you? Right?
Yeah, exactly.
See, it's so clear to me. I can see
Yeah,
it
exactly.
straight away. And how do I explain this to you? Come on.
Yeah, exactly. It's like seeing through the air for me, but why is it so opaque to you? Okay, and it definitely becomes an issue. Believe me, all of us in tech support also are aware of this. So that's why I say that most of them do have, all they have to do is get their basic academics in place. Okay, now most companies are offering jobs for kids. Only prerequisites are that 12th equivalent proficiency has to be completed, and they should have some tech skills. So tech skills can get you jobs for your kids. So if you are thinking in terms of the temporal world, where the definition of success is a job in hand, then you definitely have to think in terms of that as a long-term goal. But having kept it as a long-term goal, don't go around saying like every single day, these things have to be done by this kid mandatory, because then only they will move towards that goal. No, that way it's not going to happen. What is going to happen? Long-term goal is a long-term goal. Work on smaller objectives, and the kid has to be taken into confidence with. Okay? This is not like you go and ask someone to perform. I call you here and tell you here is a mic, now start talking with everybody. It doesn't happen. Some of us like it, some of us don't. And that has to be respected. So nobody likes to be inside a glass cage all the time. So you can't take them and show them off. So if you're going to do a show them off thing, you need to get their permission. Okay, preferably record the session on a video or something. That's a better way of showing it off than having a live audience which keeps disturbing the participants. You know, as Sheldon would say, the theory of the cat in the box. Okay, whether it's dead or alive, you will only know when you open it. Till that time, it exists in both states. Right? So, I mean, I think this major achievement would be that the so-called neurotypical character would learn this theory. Right? So,
You'll have to shut down in 2 to 3 minutes.
yeah, this. 5 minutes.
He has 8 minutes, I think. He has 8 minutes.
No. 2 to 3 minutes will give you 8 minutes.
Yeah. And as a typical tech person, I will say 5 minutes more. Okay. So benefits, yeah, it enhances focus, attention. You would have seen all our kids like extremely focused on it. So you can use this for behavior modification, please do. And if you are using it for behavior modification, it's an extremely good tool, but first and foremost, you need to know that if you set a line and say that this is what I am allowing, you have to stick by it. If you don't have rigidity to enforce your rule, do not expect others to follow those rules. It's not going to happen. Okay? There was this debate happening the other day. I saw it on TV. They were talking about colleges finding students, and there was a person who said the student just took money out of the ballot, showed it like this, and continued doing what was wrong because it's become like you want money, right? That's all. So I can continue with my thing. So don't do that. Okay? If you set rules, you have to stick by them. You have to lead by example. And remember, when you work with these kids, it's like having a cam on you all the time. Okay? So if you say no bad language, you better not be using bad language any time in your life after that actually. You never know where they will sprout and where they are going to be watching you. Okay? It might even happen in a social visit, in a supermarket, it can happen anywhere. Okay? So you need to stick to your rules first, lead by example, and then you can get them to follow those same things. Okay?
Also works in one class. We don't do something for a child for it to be paid.
Yeah, I know that. No, I'm saying it's more fun. Okay, I have a lot of friends who are OTs. Okay, so I'm not saying OT is bad. I know it's extremely good for our kids. In fact, what I recommend is if you're going for games which replicate some of the same steps as your OT, you should definitely consult with your occupational therapist to ensure that there is no physical damage or that it's not contraindicated for the child. Okay, so you need to definitely have a valid check that it's not contraindicated for the person, and you need to get that approval. And I would prefer a world where OTs started using these technologies too. Yes, but I'm talking about gaming technologies.
There is a
Xbox is the same thing. This is a OT
Yeah,
you can use.
yeah, exactly.
visual and auditory stimuli. It's very much interested in games. So we have actually started using game as a facilitation, as a reinforcement.
I was just about to say the next line, which was like, if you don't do it, they will make you do it. Okay? Because that's how it is. You can't escape. There's no escape. Our kids are not going to allow us to escape. Okay? They want to communicate with us. They want to do things. So they will ensure that they find a way of doing it. Okay? So you can only facilitate. Yeah. I'm sure you are all familiar with the different ways we learn: visual, auditory, tactile. Technology can combine all of them. There used to be a thing saying that kids have very delicate bone structures, so keyboard is very difficult. Tablet. Okay, tablet happened. So, that is no longer an excuse. But remember one thing: whatever it is, posture is important. Whatever it is, you can't keep tapping a key with a single finger all the time and expect no damages. Fingertips are very, very sensitive. So you need to watch over that. That is why I said all the regulation, time regulation, all that stuff, which you people have to insist upon, is completely in your hands. Whoever is doing the system. So, yeah, you can use everything. For a long time, as I said, natural encryption, so handwriting was always an issue. No longer, right? I can type. And over time, I can learn to space and type. Okay? Spacing is a major thing. I was not familiar with FC for a long time. I didn't even know what that was. So most of the kids I used to work with, there was no. I just used to type, show them, then they will used to type. Even if they had took a long time searching for it and clicking, but I haven't. The kids I used to work with in the beginning, I didn't have any requirement to touch them on the elbow or anything like that. So I'm not familiar with that part of it. Maybe you can check with people who have worked with FC for that. Okay, not an expert on that. So yeah, these are the things you have to remember. Plan your sessions. Enter sessions with no expectations. You will be surprised. Expect them with expect a lot of things and go to your sessions. You will be surprised, but it will be not the kind of surprise you are looking at. Okay, it will be most probably a negative surprise, which you don't want. So do that. It's seriously an amazing world once you start working with it. Things you never thought the kid knows, you will find they know. Okay, and that itself is an active process of discovery, right there. And remember, like we have seen over the previous sessions, they can even read your minds. So if you are doing academics, you better be a blank slate. In terms of mind, facial expression, everything. Don't ask them true or false questions where, actually this is something I learned from them and it's been very useful in my corporate training sessions. Because in my corporate training sessions, when I go to a person and say, this tool can do this, it can, right? Or it can't. And I just looking like this, what happens is they are not able to read me at all. So what happens is they have to come up with some answer which they think is right. Okay, and this was taught to me by the special kids because they were able to give me whatever answers they thought I want rather than actually give what they felt. So you have to learn to wipe all that off. And if they can read your mind, imagine how much you have to wipe off. Okay, so that you need to look at for sure. Stick to timelines, I'm saying again and again. And so yeah, I'll also have to do the 5-minute relativity thing to wind up my session. So next.
We have only 1 minute. We have only 1 minute.
Okay, internet access, games. When we go to games, please remember there is something called ESRB ratings, which are there worldwide. Use that to find out which games are okay for your kid and which are not. From bad language to violence to blood, everything is rated. Okay, so you can check on that and based on that you can allow or deny games. Parental control will work with all these rating agencies, so you will have ultimate control over all your applications. And yeah, that's about it. The other thing is, unusual usage of tools is perfectly okay if they solve the issue. All of you have used Microsoft Word? How many of you have used Microsoft Word to edit pictures? Okay, only one person. So the rest of you learning. Point of the day, you can use Word to edit pictures. Okay, and it will sometimes look very easy to do it that way. So things like that happen. And the most important thing is, of course, common sense. So whatever I have said may apply to your sessions, sometimes may not apply. You will be the person who will judge and decide whether it applies or not based on your responses with your child. So the child also defines everything, you also define everything. So together it's a one teamwork. Okay. We, since the whole thing is also about spirituality, the thing is we have a slogan in India which says that I invite you to start learning with me. Okay, so that is how your approach should be. It's completely teamwork. It is not based on individual ups and downs. I mean, if the child is not there, I have nothing to do. Right? If the child knew everything, why am I needed? Right? So keep that in your mind somewhere. It will help.
You are required for support and guidance. Kids are smart in technology. Your presence is required for support and guidance.
And feel free to contact me using any of those methods. Okay. Also remember, all slides by all speakers who used PowerPoint presentations will be available on the Commander Foundation website. Okay, just give us about 40 hours and after that it will be there available. Okay, those who didn't use PowerPoints, I can't do anything, but the rest of them it will be there. The rest of them I am trying to work out something I can't commit. Slides, yes.